Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your noon news and weather updates from the First Alert Desk. Now, we do want to give a special shout out to the Pitt County EMS as their crews have received special recognition. The crews from Pitt County were commended for their service during last night's commissioners meeting. National EMS Week is celebrated from Sunday, May 18th through Saturday, May 24th, and aims to honor the contributions local first responders have made throughout the county and the country when responding to emergencies. The theme of this year's EMS Week is, quote, "We care for everyone," end quote, highlighting the importance of access to emergency health care, which can drastically impact survival and recovery rates for those who experience sudden illness or injury. According to county officials, Pitt County EMS units responded to more than 15,000 calls for service in 2024, 58% of which called for EMS treatment or transportation to an emergency department. Now, Pitt County EMS has 30 full-time and 8 part-time paramedics, as well as 4 senior paramedics who serve as assistant supervisors. 4 shift supervisors directly supervise Pitt County EMS employees and oversee daily operations of the entire EMS system, according to the county. Pitt County EMS operates 4 ambulance stations and 2 quick response vehicles. I also want to highlight the threat of severe weather across not just eastern North Carolina, but over the past several days over the middle section of the country, from the Midwest, kind of the backside of the Rockies, all the way towards the Appalachian Mountains. We have seen severe storms pop up, and again, many tornadoes have touched down. This has led to a loss of life that is now up into the 20s. NBC's Kathy Park has more on the damage and destruction.
Overnight, there were several confirmed tornadoes in Nebraska and Oklahoma, and unfortunately, portions of Kentucky are back in the bullseye again today. Here in Laurel, Kentucky, a likely EF3 tornado came through with wind speeds of more than 135 miles per hour, and everywhere you look, we're looking at massive debris fields. And today, with more bad weather on the way, the concern is, what will the damaging winds do with all of this debris still on the ground? Now, yesterday we saw volunteers pouring in from all across the country, residents coming back to their homes, salvaging what they could. But as I mentioned, there is more bad weather headed this way, and officials are urging people who are in the storm's path to basically have a game plan, find a safe space. Remember to avoid windows if you're at home, and if you have a basement, even better, head down there, because as you can see, just how damaging these twisters can be.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for that report. Of course, tomorrow is a First Alert weather day here in eastern North Carolina. The good news is our severe weather outlook is actually looking a little bit dimmer compared to what we had yesterday. Now, I don't want to completely turn everybody off to think, okay, we aren't looking at the potential for severe. We certainly are. We're going to have 2 rounds of thunderstorms that roll across the area coming up tomorrow. But do want to first quickly touch on what we've got outside right now. Current air temperatures reading in the mid to upper 70s for most inland areas. Those of you watching closer to the Virginia line or closer to the water, looking more at the low to mid 70s. Still seeing 69 degrees in Manio. Do want to say good afternoon to Amanda Bloom. Thank you so much for tuning in from Maysville and Jacksonville. Right now, winds out of the northeast coming in at a more reasonable 4 to 8 miles an hour for most inland areas. But once you get closer to the water, you're seeing more of a 7 to 15 mile per hour breeze. This afternoon, we are expecting to get back up into the low 80s. May have a tougher time getting to 83. We may end up shy, sitting around maybe 81 or 82 degrees coming up this afternoon. But as far as cloud cover goes, yeah, that's going to get thicker as we head through tonight. That'll essentially lead in to the storms, at least the first round of storms coming up for tomorrow. That'll happen early tomorrow morning. Some of the storms could start as early as around maybe 2 to 3 a.m. We're not going to, again, see all of it roll through until we get to around lunchtime tomorrow. The later the storms stay, the better it will be for us in the afternoon. We want a very small window between the end of our first round of rain and the beginning of our next round of rain. That will lead to, again, a more stable atmosphere, and the rain showers and, well, the thunderstorms that do develop won't have as much energy to feed on, and again should stay below that severe weather threshold. That's what we're rooting for right now. This is what we've got coming up tomorrow at 7 a.m. Again, thunderstorms still very much present across most of eastern North Carolina as we head towards 9. Most of the activity right now looks like it'll be along and east of Highway 17, but of course you do look back towards the west there. You're seeing a big old spot storm right on the southern portion of Nash County, extending into Wilson County. That is one that will continue to work its way east of 17, I think, as we head towards 11. From that point, again, we are seeing more sunshine come in for more inland areas, but then again, another round of rain tries to push through early. I don't think that's going to be the end of the rain. The warmer you get tomorrow, the better opportunities you have for severe storms. So we're seeing an opportunity for rain and storms throughout the day is encouraging, because the earlier those storms start, the more stable the atmosphere is, and those storms, while again it feels like, okay, they only make things worse, they're actually stabilizing the atmosphere. So as they bring in all of that very heavy rain, that rain is pushing the air from the upper levels of the atmosphere down to the ground. That cools everything down significantly, and a cooler atmosphere down at ground level won't have as much lift potential. Remember, heat rises, wants to rise. If it's not quite as hot, it's not going to rise as fast. Without that rising motion, you're not going to get those severe thunderstorms to form, and that essentially kind of puts a lid on that danger for severe. So that's kind of what we are looking for as we head through tomorrow. But for today, look at those storms across Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. That's where we have a pretty good chance of seeing some very strong storms to severe storms later on this afternoon and evening. That whole system, again, really gets chewed up quite a bit by the mountains, but it will, again, continue to work its way. At least that cold front will work its way over the east coming up late Wednesday night. By Thursday morning, it will be well off of our coast, and then high pressure will start to extend over eastern North Carolina as we finish off the work week. That will leave us very sunny and dry for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Next round of rain tries to show up on Sunday. I think we'll have a better opportunity for seeing more of those raindrops more Memorial Day, but even more so the following Tuesday. Air temperatures over the weekend gradually warming. 76 degrees on Saturday, feeling pretty comfortable there under mostly sunny skies. A little bit more cloud cover Sunday, 79 degrees, and then low to mid 80s by the time we get to Monday, Memorial Day, and then low 80s coming up for the following Tuesday. Well, that's all we have time for today's noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Supreme Choice.